Still in the fury of celebrating Nigeria and Super Eagles, congratulating Nigeria for the fact that we were able to scale through that uphill task and the match against Egypt that actually happened over there in Garua City yesterday. Well, good one. Congrats, Nigerians, once again. I am Adeni Ajishafe on the show 360 Sports on Trust TV. Joining me in the studio is Olawale Peters as we'll be looking at the matches that will be coming up today in AFCON and also other matches across the border. Good to have you.
It's my pleasure to be back to studio, Adeni.
Okay, now let's start from Africa. Let's start from the home scene where AFCON is the in thing now. You just can't take it away. In fact, it has been the cover of almost all the sport in the whole world. No matter all the matches being talked about, AFCON come first. So now let's look at the fixtures that will be coming up today in AFCON. A lot of matches that will be played. Well, quickly we look at Equatorial Guinea versus Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia versus Mali, and Mauritania versus Gambia. Those are the matches that will be coming up today in the African Cup of Nations 33rd edition taking place in Cameroon. Equatorial Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire. If you look at the antecedent of all the big teams versus the small teams, it's been very tough. Nobody has actually had an easy ride against the smaller teams, or minnows as they are called. But no more minnows. Equatorial versus Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire has to be very careful.
Yes, and they have to be very, very careful, because right now, the perceived smaller teams, they are not respecting the so-called big boys. So that means everybody is coming out with confidence. And with what happened between Sierra Leone and Algeria yesterday, that will give others more confidence that if Sierra Leone can do this against Algeria, with Cote d'Ivoire, they are now among the top 10 in Africa. So why can't I also do more than what the Sierra Leone did against Algeria? So I think it's going to be a very interesting match. I know the games of football in Africa, irrespective of what you are doing at your club level, it's all about strength. You have to be physically okay before you can play in AFCON, before you can play in this competition. So that we see coming into play this evening when Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea also, they had
now Tunisia versus Mali, another match that a lot of people want to see. It's like Morocco, Ghana. What happened between the two? Now, Tunisia, Mali, where do you stand?
Okay, going by the antecedent of the North African versus the West African, you'll give it to them because of their style of play. However, with our own strength and physicality, we normally have edge over them. Just like we saw against Egypt, Nigeria against Egypt yesterday. We
neutralize them.
We neutralize them in all arenas. Strength, pace, speed, physical. We're going to see that also because Mali style of play and Ghanaian style of play, it's almost similar, being West African countries. So I'm seeing that also. What happened between Ghana and Morocco will happen between Tunisia and Mali. However, I'm sure the Malians, they will have learned their lesson, the defensive error by the Ghanaians, to make sure that they are, because the Tunisian team, they are very, very fast. They are very fast. They have the pace also. So they are very clinical up front also. So they don't waste chances. So they have to be on top of their game. So I think the game may be going for a draw.
Good one there, well, even though the Malians, not the Malians of Nigeria anyway, the Malians that will play football against the team called Tunisia. That will be a big match between the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. They'll be playing against another Eagles of Mali. Almost everyone are Eagles now. Well, really, matches will be coming up. Now, Gambia versus Mauritania will be a match that you want to look at. If it's by landmass also, like I always say, you want to give it to Mauritania. They have a very large landmass compared to Gambia, a small nation in West Africa. But football is about performance. Who will win this match between Gambia and Mauritania?
Honestly, it's to be too dicey to say who will win the match, because the Gambian also come from West Africa. When it comes to football, I give it to West African. When it comes to AFCON, than the North African. But if you come to the club level, I'll give it to the North African than the. So that's what I think it's really going to happen.
Well, Mali will be playing against Tunisia, Gambia against Mauritania. You have the chance to also look at the fact that all these teams that we are talking about will be playing today, and those matches we just have to hold. Well, the AFCON 33rd edition has been ongoing. We've seen all the big teams struggling against the teams that are less squared up against all the big ones. Well, as it is, it's going to be another big one, but we hope the Nigerian Super Eagles will always do us proud in their matches that they'll be playing, and also also to let you know that over there in Cameroon, all the matches that have been coming up, they've been showing their class. A lot of visitors that came into Cameroon were surprised with the fact that, well, to some extent, they've been able to prove that they could actually host the competition. Actually, from my side view, I saw that you were nodding. The way Cameroon, they were able to surprise the whole Africa and also the foreigners watching. Where it's like the people are waiting to see, oh, maybe this will happen, that will happen. Yes, little things here and there, but really, Cameroon have really surprised all the whole world.
That shows that they are really prepared. And when the CAF president said they are not postponing the AFCON because of the amount of resources, money, time put in the preparation by the Cameroonian government, I was like, it has a point. But seeing what they've done, look at their pitches. Very, very, very okay. And we've not had issue of violence so far. The most important one that I'm really happy about is if you are not vaccinated, they will not even allow you to enter the pitch. So that shows that they take the health of everybody very, very serious. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they have done very, very well. And I'm sure the Côte d'Ivoire, who is going to host the next AFCON, they are learning from Cameroon what we are seeing in Cameroon currently now.
Except for the only thing I saw yesterday was the ball deflating as if... I don't know, what happened there? Was it, somebody said, is this secondary school football that they brought here? I almost busted into laughter. Well, we just have to have some little spice in the studio at times. You can't be serious every time, but really, maybe you just wanted to add some spice to that man. As you see, ball, it was called Felele football then.
But it's not the fault of the organizer.
So the company that supplied the ball.
It's the company that supplied the ball, and the ball supposed to have been tested, and probably because of too much pressure on the ball.
I hope it's not some African metaphysical power that was busting the ball as well. Just have to have some fun there. Let's quickly look at some matches that will be coming up. Just to slide away from AFCON a bit, at least we have been celebrating AFCON matches. A lot of matches have been played so far. 1-0, 2-1. 1-0 draw everywhere. But now, let's move away from AFCON. Let's talk about some matches that will be coming up. Although yesterday, a match was played over there in England. Let's quickly look at matches that were played. Southampton against Brentford ended 4-1 in favor of Southampton. Good one for Southampton. They were able to win that game, and they are celebrating. You just have to look at these two matches. Well, AFCON have dominated every... No, in fact, people didn't know. A lot of people didn't follow because of AFCON. Really, the way they underrated AFCON, maybe I will still go back to that play. We'll talk about it, but Southampton, Brentford 4-1. Okay,
and it's a very good one for Southampton. I think this is going to be their best win so far this season. And Brentford also, it's not really a good, we said something here the other time when Brentford and I think Liverpool played, that they always have this extra strength when they are playing the top team, but if they are playing their peers, it's like they normally drop the ball. That's what happened yesterday, and I'm not expecting the goal margin to have been that massive. And someone said probably because our player Onyeka wasn't around. That's why they considered much goal yesterday. So I think it's not a really good one for them because they are going to the last phase of the Premier League. If they continue like this, probably they will join Newcastle and Norwich in the relegation zone.
Bednarek, Fernandez among the scorers of those goals. Now let's look at Italian Serie A. Matches. Rather, let's look at Coppa Italia result. If you can't get that matches, also that will be coming up rather. Well, but before Coppa Italia, let's look at the EFL rather. EFL, that is English Football League, because a match will be coming up today between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea won the first leg, 2-0. The second leg is going to be Tottenham playing against Chelsea. Do you see Chelsea scaling through?
Yes, I see Chelsea.
That particular, you have to sit well because you want to.
Yes, and I see Chelsea scaling through. Why? We have to look at the statistic we have available. The last time Tottenham beat Chelsea was in 2019. So that's like over 2 years. And if you look at head-to-head between Chelsea and Tottenham, I think they've met about 71 times. Chelsea have won almost 55 times. So they have the edge over them. And currently, the last 5 matches played by Chelsea, I think they won 3, they drew 2. While Tottenham, they won 3, they drew 1, and they lost 1. Okay? So looking at that statistic, I think Chelsea will have an edge over them. However, the last match that was playing between Chelsea and Tottenham in 2019, Tottenham won 3-1. So that shows that the same thing can still happen today to repeat the same win over Chelsea. So it's going to be a very dicey, a tough one, but Chelsea is going to play in final.
Now, Chelsea will play in final according to what you just said, but looking at the fact that Tottenham knows what is at stake, that okay, for EPL, forget about it. For Champions League, we don't know. But for this, we can still make a statement by winning Chelsea. For tonight's match, Tottenham Hotspur, Antonio Conte might just instill that winning mentality to them. Guys, you can't do this. It doesn't mean they are leading you 2-0. You can win them 3-0. You can scale through. You can make statements. At least you can win this cup. After all, Liverpool, Arsenal, we don't know. They will play their own match tomorrow. Yeah. So whoever wins there too will be looking at, what will happen between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. That particular winning mentality. What if Tottenham turns things around?
Okay, and that winning mentality is what Chelsea are going through right now. Their last 2 matches, they won their last 2 matches. So they have that winning mentality, and Chelsea is not really a team that normally pack the bus. They used to pack the bus in those days of Jose Mourinho.
Now they are packing.
If Mourinho
B2,
if Mourinho is the one playing tonight, now I can tell you he's going to pack the bus. That's
because he wants to maintain it.
He wants to maintain the 2-0. But the Thomas Tuchel that we all know is not going to pack the bus. Is attacking minded, so they're going to go all out for goal. And the Tottenham that we saw the last match, their defensive have been very porous. That's the truth, and which I'm sure Chelsea will want to capitalize on it. And Antonio Conte will want to instill the winning mentality. He wants to motivate the same thing that Thomas is going to do to the Chelsea team. And Chelsea, they are coming from the advantage point of 2-0, so they are not under pressure. If the Tottenham should come with full force and they leave their back open, that may cause a problem for them, a counter-attack, which Chelsea is very good at. Remember, Lukaku has resolved the issue he had with Chelsea and with the coach. The last match he scored. I hope he will play tonight's match, and if he's among the people that is playing, definitely you expect him, if not a goal, an assist. And you know one thing about him, he knows how to threaten, intimidate with his physique the defender in the Premier League.
He's not a selfish player.
No, he's not a selfish player at all.
Good one there. Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur will be coming up in the second leg of the semi-final in the English Football League that will be coming up. Some people call it Carabao Cup. Yes. Now, it will be happening live also between Liverpool and Arsenal, but that will be tomorrow. That's another story for another day. Let's talk about the one we have right now. But the point is, who will win between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur? This second leg is a battle in the city of London. Both of them are playing home, and it's going to be a tough one. Now we move away from Tottenham versus Chelsea. Let's go straight to Italy and talk about Coppa Italia, their match that will be played today, where the teams that will play Atalanta versus Venezia. It's just as if they are playing Serie A, but this is Coppa Italia. Venezia, the team of Tyrone Ebu here of Nigeria, will be facing Atalanta, who has really, for some time now, been shocking a lot of big teams in Europe. So, Atalanta, Venezia.
Okay, if we look at the current performance and the current form of Atalanta, we're going to give it to them. And also, they have an advantage. They are playing at home. So, they have the support of the crowd. So, they have the winning mentality going on and working for them, both defensively and attacking wise. So I think it would be an easy one for Atlanta to win today's match. And knowing fully that this team also, they've met before now, and which Atlanta, he has an edge over them. So I think I'll give it to Atlanta to win today's match, going by their current performance. Yeah.
Well, to let you also know that Cagliari defeated Bologna by 2-1 in the Italian Serie A match that was also played yesterday. Now, let's look at 2 matches will be coming up between 4 giant teams in Italy and also in Spain. Well, AFCON has actually covered up almost all these matches. That shows that really have impact, despite the fact that we are being rated, underrated rather, by other federations or intercontinental bodies. But really, AFCON has dominated. That's why you don't even hear much about all these matches. To let you know that Barcelona will be facing Real Madrid today in their own Super Cup there in Spain. And also Juventus will be playing against Inter Milan in the Super Coppa Italia. Those are the matches that will be coming up, but a lot of people don't even remember why AFCON is in the air. Now, looking at what happened since AFCON started, I noticed that despite the fact that other leagues are ongoing in Europe, even in Nigeria here, as we speak, the women will play football today. Nobody, if you go online to look for news, maybe you only see one or two talking about Nigerian league coming up. Edo Queens will play against Nasarawa Amazons today in Benin. Nobody is mentioning it. I've checked how many sports WhatsApp groups. I've only seen one place where they actually wrote Edo Queens versus Nasarawa Amazons. And who wrote it was a media officer of one of the teams. Now, I think we need to do more because, yes, AFCON is in the air, but at least let's push it a bit. But for others, over there in Europe, when AFCON, the beginning of AFCON, it was really underrated. But now, to be candid, none of this actually matters now because AFCON has overtake, and everywhere. It's just AFCON everywhere.
Okay, I think the first we need to do, the CAF and the Football Federation of other African countries, they need to sit down and have a timetable that anytime we are playing AFCON, all other football activities should be on hold for that period. I think if we have that, we even get more recognition than what we are having right now. I think that's very important to even promote the AFCON more than what we have currently. All other football activities should be on hold anytime we are playing AFCON. They can reschedule the timetable, the fixtures, or whatever, so that I can have the concentration and get what's
on AFCON.
Yes. I think that would really help. Then concerning the European matches, it was this morning
that you knew that
I knew that Chelsea and Tottenham will be playing. And there will be El Clasico between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and Inter Milan and Juve will be playing. It was this morning.
Because
everything is all about AFCON, and that's a very good news. That shows that we are now appreciating what we have. AFCON is our heritage, and we have to cherish our heritage. A good one, but CAF and the football federations of other African countries, they should sit down and work out anytime we are playing AFCON, all other football activities in Africa should be suspended pending. Maybe with that,
to let you know this, MPFL, Nigerian Professional Football League, will be coming up on Sunday. And I just saw before we entered the studio that the LMC brought forward a match on Saturday. Nigeria will be playing on Saturday. Who will be watching? You want Aqua United to be playing away to one team. In fact, the media officer of Aqua just protested that who does this? Nigeria will be playing at the same time, 5 o'clock, and you want a team to also be playing at home? Who will give credence or credibility to such game? Why would it be like that?
How would they even learn? How would they know what is going on? Because their mind, I bet you, will be at the AFCON. So their mind will be divided. Even the coaches also, they want to see what Eguavon is doing, what they can learn from. So I think the LMC, they need to really look into this. They have what it takes. It's all about calling an executive meeting. So this is what is going on. Can we shift this? Can we postpone this? And how will you bring a match? It's like,
it's very, very controversial and contradictory because now if the Super Eagles are playing, you brought the man forward. It's supposed to be on Sunday because you know that Kada and Aqua they share the same stadium and all like that. So they just brought it forward, and I'm like, what is this? When I saw it, this should not happen.
Why bringing it to Saturday when Nigeria is playing? Why not?
And the funniest is that a lot of Nigerians want to watch Super Eagles. Who will now go to the stadium to watch the Aqua versus? Although we know that stadium is not even open anyway.
They'll play in empty stadium.
Then the players themselves,
they'll just play themselves. Yes.
Oh, come on, we just have to do things right in this country. Well, we really have to talk about all these things we mentioned. Well, AFCON has taken over. Either you love it or not, it has become our own heritage of football in Africa. We also celebrate the Confederation of African Football, led by Patrick Mosepe, are doing their wonderful best to make sure Africans are being celebrated, either in Europe, South America, North America, Oceania, or anywhere you want to mention. Good one there. We've been talking with Olawale Peters concerning sporting activities that will happen, that has happened, and that will still happen. Good one there. I want to appreciate your time on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be here, Denny.
Good one there. Well, for you out there, Please, it's time to always appreciate your own. Nigerian Super Eagles will be flying out against Sudan on Saturday. Although we have scaled through the first order against Egypt 1-0, the second one should be 2-0. Hopefully we get better as we play all our matches. And we want to also appreciate all our viewers out there always watching us. We want to appreciate you once again. Sport is fitness and business. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.